Hello, everyone. It's me. Today is February 26, 2026 at 4:47 p.m. I hope you are well. Well, whew, I have been trying to make a little follow-up video to the video that I had recorded. I believe it was February 11th, without much success. Uh, I kept it to myself as best as I could, but I was going through something that I don't normally talk about very often on my channel, and it is in regards to my past. Mm, I probably made about 5 videos, um, and they just didn't feel right. And so here I am again today explaining to you that, well, I never wanted this part of my life to be the main focus of my channel or who I am or what this channel is about. It's definitely something that has been for a lot of my life a nightmare for me. All right. But I just want to get this over with. So I've I've said, that I think that I'm worried, and I always have been, and I think and feel, um I can hardly look at myself. it I guess I'm still dealing with a bit of shame that this is my story. That it's part of it, not all of it, and not all who I am. But I am sorry that I didn't talk about it before and I didn't explain to people a bit more about me in this way. And I'm also sorry that I do have to tell you because it's really unpleasant. Um, I've talked about a little bit before on streams as to why I have CPTSD. It's not a joke, it's real life and diagnosed. Um, I've been struggling with symptoms of it since I was probably about 9 years old, that I can recall. So let's just get this over with. So I was adopted at birth. My birth mother was almost 16. She was 15, going into her 16th year when she had me, and I was given up for adoption. I I write about this in detail in my book, but I lived through 17 years of pretty severe abuse, emotional, mental, physical. Thankfully, I've never suffered sexual abuse um, from, like a family member and things like this. But it was every day and consistent that she was being in some way abusive. And I suffered a lot until, I tried to escape when I was about 16 years old. And I actually went to my birth mother's, and this video is basically based upon what happened on February 11th and involves her. Okay. So I went there and I started to talk about what was happening to me, and I thought that I would be free from there. Long story short, Demon Debbie called. That was the woman who adopted me. That was the one who was abusing me. And, I had to go back. She threatened, and I mean, of course, the option of calling social services was there, but that didn't happen. And I went back and I suffered more. So, fast forward, and I'm telling everyone this. It's not. I'm not. It's too much for me to carry on my own. My disorder is really difficult to live with and to deal with all alone without any family or friends to be around to support me. Um, and I just hope it will be received with compassion and understanding. I'm not looking for pity or anything. It's just something that I've needed to talk about. And anyway, we'll get through this. So when I was about 17, after the group home, I lived in a group home for a little while. Um, and I was almost 18. The ages don't matter. But so after the group home, this isn't easy. I went to go live with my adopted father, and that didn't work out. It was never a good relationship with him, and it didn't get any better. And then I went to go live with her again. And again, long story short, I write about all this in detail, my whole childhood, my beginnings, everything like that in my book. One day I got home from work. I was working as a personal fitness trainer and nutrition and wellness specialist. I was going for that as a course, okay? And she told me, my birth mother told me I had to leave. I remember, I can't remember which time it was. I have this memory of her. These are all I have, you see. I can't remember anything else. Where she was at her house and they had this little island thing, and she had a glass of Pepsi and her phone was there, like her home phone is where she like sat. And she told me like she felt that I came back into her life to sabotage her. And I've never been able to quite forget it. Because I didn't. I still, like today, was looking to be part of a family. People asked me how I ended up like this in my life. There was one lady, Barbara in particular, that asked me within the last few months. And I planned on it, I just didn't know how to tell everyone. So anyway, this one day, I got home from work and she told me I had to leave. I wouldn't say why. And so this ended up one of the reasons why I just left the country and I moved to California. I didn't understand what I had done wrong, and all of these people in my life had just caused me so much pain and suffering. And so it was from then until 2022 when I had this dream. I talk about this sometimes, about the spirit phone. And it's where I get a phone call in my dream. And sometimes it'll be a person that I know trying to get back in touch with me or letting me know that they miss me or would like to hear from me. Like my birth mother did. She called on the phone in my dream state and I answered it, but it's like a conversation between spirits, but on the phone in my dream. I know it sounds strange, but it's happened to me for the majority of my life. So call it the spirit phone. And sometimes it's, I've talked about this, it's a man, usually a man, with like an authoritative sounding voice, saying words, like at first I won't be conscious and lucid, and then saying words like flamingo orange, banana, lamp, things that don't make any sense in a sentence. And then I become lucid and conscious and we have a conversation, but I don't remember what it is. And then I'll wake up and I'll know that I had this important conversation, but I don't know what it is. I've had those a lot throughout my life. Almost like someone checking in and giving updates, but it's like in the spirit realm. I don't know if it's from like someone in the spiritual hierarchies or what. I don't know. But anyway, to not digress too much further, so I had this dream of her, and it was right around COVID, or and because she had said, I always remember about saying something about like stay safe or whatever it was we used to say during those COVID days. Everyone was saying that to each other. And so she expressed concern that she was worried about me and whatever. And it was a couple months that went by, and it was actually in February that I decided to try to seek her out and contact her. Maybe she would tell me why, because like they just stopped answering the phone in the past. Like they told me to leave, so I would call and check in, and I remember when I was in California, I called to let them know I was there, and like I remember my brother told me that they threw out all my stuff and they had a yard sale and that it was all gone. And I had told them that when I got there that I would pay for my stuff to be sent to me, and I was very serious about that. This stuff was precious. They just stopped answering the phone. And so I wondered what I had done wrong for many, many years. In 2022, like the February, like I said, after my dream, I had found her on Facebook. And I decided to reach out one more time. And, I was in a place in my life I really needed help. I needed support. I needed love. I needed people to be there for me. Maybe I thought they'd help me to come home to Nova Scotia. And I wasn't just looking for financial, like even just any type of help, anything, even just emotional, mental support, anything. So I wrote her, and within a couple of days, I got a response. She had said, yeah, because I had told her when we'd actually called on the phone. I had told her, about my dream. And she had told me about a recurring dream that she had years ago when I was young, and I was on a train that was speeding away from her and she was chasing after it. I thought it was quite sad, but very symbolically true. She told me that she was going to come and visit me. And I believed her, and I was really excited. And I thought maybe this was my chance, that my life would get better. I wouldn't be alone anymore. And then one day I went to call her. It was like I got an update. It's like she just contacts me to update me about the family that I'll never be part of. And then one day I called and the phone number didn't work. So I thought, oh, maybe something happened to her cell phone. Wait, call it again. Do I have the right number? Called again. I went to go check on Facebook. The Facebook's been deleted. She ghosted me. Again. For no reason. Here I was thinking February, March, April. She told me in April she was going to come and visit me. And disappeared. So this past February 11th, I got a feeling I mean, I was worried about my financial situation. I'm always struggling, and I thought, maybe somebody made a generous donation. And they had. And it was my birth mother. It was her name. No mistaking, okay? The thing about it was there was so many things that came up for me. The number one thing was that there was no message. My email is also on my YouTube channel. There was no message, no comment, no PayPal message, nothing. No email, nothing to say I'm sorry or this is the reason, when nothing. And my phone numbers have not changed. My phone number is the same as it was in 2022. That's why I've kept my house phone. But do you think she'd ever call? No. And it really bothered me a lot, everyone. It did. I just need a drink. It brought it up a lot for me again. Not at first, but gradually. And then I started having PTSD flashbacks. I only lost my appetite for 2 days, though, and I was able to recover it. You see, so now she and most likely other members have found this channel. When I was in their lives, they didn't want anything to do with me. There's no memories. They didn't want to do anything with me. We didn't do anything together. And I can't remember anything else. 3 years ago, when that happened, I let it go. I had to let them all go. How many times are you going to do that to a person and throw them away like garbage? Like, you threw away my stuff. You believed that demonic woman after I went through, oh God, a horrific nightmare of a time. Like, my life has never been the same. I've not been able to work. I've not been able to maintain relationships of any kind. And now, like, when people don't call me back or text me back after 24 hours, I just assume they don't want to talk to me anymore. The treatment I have received in my life, and I have, regardless of that, maintained my best, the best of my ability, my loving heart, my true self, my spirit. I've hung on no matter what. But honestly, it was, I don't know if it was like a test from the divine, but I'll tell you this. I realized that throughout my life, I kept going back to people that harmed me, thinking that I could fix the situation or the relationship if I just loved a little harder, if I tried a little harder, if I gave a little more, that it would make things better. Over the years, even my ex-best friend Jenny and I, one thing or another would lead to us stop talking. And I mean, even after she hurt my feelings and broke my heart all those times, I would still go back. Like, I would apologize for things that I didn't even do, because I wanted the people that I loved in my life. And the thing that I had to realize is that these people did not love me. I don't know what my birth mother was thinking, to just ghost me and not even take into consideration what that would do, how that would affect me in my life. After everything that I've been through, it's like every time that I try to get better, like, I had just put that behind me and I was trying to find something new in life. And it's really, really insulting that they'll watch my YouTube channel, but they had no interest in getting to know me in real life. Just tossed me away like I was garbage so many times. Even when I was around, like, it was just like I didn't matter. Everything that I said, it was just unvalued. So I can't keep giving people the keys to hurt me over and over and over again. You know? I just can't do it. And I know some people may not understand, like, well, no, I'm not going to be a beggar. I'm not going to be a beggar for love and care. I'm not going to beg people to care about me. I'm not going to, when I tell somebody that I'm not doing well and they tell me that they're at a hockey game and then don't even text me to check on me, no, man, no, no. I can't do that anymore. I deserve more. I love myself enough to say, you know what? I deserve better than that. And I know that she's probably upset because she tried to contact me through the spirit phone again. This time I rejected it and she was quite pissed off. And I don't care. You never thought for a moment how I would feel. As if that's kind of sick. You just call somebody, update them about a family and a life that they'll never be part of, and then just fuck off again. Come on, Marv. Jump, baby, jump. Jump, baby, jump. Come on. Come on, you can do it. Come on. Yeah, come on. Slow as molasses, but you did it. Good job. So, I know it may not seem like a big deal to some people, but it's a huge deal to me. I really try my best, you know, but especially these last couple of weeks, like I was thinking, like, if this is the rest of my life, I really don't know how long I'm going to be able to deal with my disorder all on my own. It's debilitating first off, but then I'm so incredibly isolated, but I don't want to go back to what hurt me. I was really, really hoping for better in this life, that I could find my own family and my own tribe, at least a husband, you know? But I'm making this video because I feel a little bit uncomfortable with the next one. It's about 25 minutes long, so where it was when I first talk about this, it's not bad at first, but I share some painful energy. You can see it in me. So I just wanted to give you a little bit of a heads up, that yes, I have this disorder. Yes, I struggle. A lot of people in my life have let me down. But I've tried to triumph. Like, I don't sit around feeling like a victim about it. I've been trying this whole time. And it's not like do or do not, there is no try. I've given it everything that I have. But I'm not going to keep putting into one-sided relationships where I just keep getting hurt and used and taken advantage of and blah, blah, blah. Because that's like every other friend that I've ever made, and that's why I've got no friends, and that's why I've got no family, and it's signed up here like this, yeah? I mean, I don't know. I feel like it's part of the, see you later, baby, part of the divine plan in a way. At first I was like, is this when I saw that, because it almost feels like the devil torturing me, like it just keeps coming back. When I had to tell myself, I am the only one in my bloodline. I'm the last one. I am the last Eskimo in my tribe. You know what I'm saying? It hurts much more to know that they're out there and they just can't be bothered. They just can't be bothered. They only care about themselves. You know? And so what? I don't want, like, that's what she always did, my birth mother. She would bring presents, but she would never give me her presents and the gift of memories and time together. None of that. Didn't matter at all. She did that with everybody else, not me. So I don't know why she keeps bothering me. Because now it's just bothering me a lot. And it held me back from the 11th, and I wasn't well enough to truly be able to talk to you about it in any kind of balanced way until today. I had smoked all my weed, and oh yeah, by the way, someone did send me a generous donation, I believe on the 23rd. And I don't ever say names, and I will do my best to make more of an effort to figure out how to get into those. Why isn't there a messages option on PayPal? Why can't there's nowheres where it says messages where I can click to get to them? But I do thank you very much for your help, because I was able to get a little more weed and everything that I needed, and I get my money tomorrow. So it's fine. Thank you very much for your help. Um, you know, yeah, it was a whirlwind of emotions when I saw her on there. It's not that I'm not ungrateful for her help financially, because I did need it. But at the same time, I feel like I paid for it in 1,000 times over with the pain that it brought up. But I don't know, maybe I'm glad to be able to process it, and hopefully it'll leave me be for good, because I don't want, and it even had me come up with the stuff with, Demon Debbie and all the abuse that I suffered there. You know, I went through like what most people tell me is like, I knew it, but they weren't possessed by demons. I used to think that. I call her Demonic Debbie because of her behavior. She used to, she stopped taking care of me at 7 years old, everyone. So there was no more breakfast, no more lunch. I got no more care. They were threatening to call people if they didn't get me glasses. I never went to the dentist. I starved every day at school. And then she just beat me up all the time. She loved to drag me around by my hair, smack me around, and she would do it naked. She was naked. This woman there was something wrong with her. From all the therapy and stuff that I've been and talked about it and all of that, the way she would backhand hit me with the back of her hand so that it wouldn't make marks, the psychological torment of her hurting my animals and, locking them in the basement from being at school. So I would worry about them and then lock me in the basement. And I went through a fucking nightmare. I went through hell. And I don't want any more hell. I fought really hard to get where I am today. And even though it doesn't seem like much to others, it's everything to me, because I love myself more than anything. And I love everyone. I'm saying that I love myself unconditionally, and I cannot have it now where I beg for love and affection. So I hope you can understand. Like I said, I'm sharing this because it's going to come out in my book anyway. And even though I was going through something awful, I was still trying to be strong. I still made a couple of videos, but I can see the pain in my last couple of videos. But I grin and bear it well. I'm trying to deal with it the best that I can. And part of me realizes that giving away this kind of information gives other demonic type of people that leave awful, evil comments saying, aha, you don't have a family. I feel sorry for you if I was your family, all these things. In my last live stream, you can see people do this actively in real time to me. So I realize this, but my goal in this life is to be loved and appreciated for the real me, who I really am, for all that I am. No faking, none of that. Yes? All of me, for all I am, and for everything that I will ever be and ever was. Yes? That's all. That's all I've ever wanted in this life. I've really just wanted people to see me and love me for who I really am, and I think that's what we all deserve in this life. So, yeah, thank you so much for being here with me on this channel, showing me your support. People that have been here with me throughout the years that I have been on YouTube, on this channel that I have so named Last Minute Lacey. I greatly appreciate you. You've been here for me more than my own blood. And anyone who's really ever been close to me, you've been here. And I am sorry that I've been through so much. It's difficult for me to make connections with others, and sometimes I will misunderstand because I have been so, for lack of a better word, persecuted. I know it's a bit dramatic, persecuted in my life. It's really been that bad. Not only did I suffer at home, but I suffered at school really terribly, you know? And I just realized over the years, like the people that I loved most did not love me back the same. And you know what? That isn't good enough, you know? I deserve better. I deserve more. Before I leave this vessel, before my spirit leaves this vessel and goes elsewhere, this body that was brought into creation deserves more and better, you know? Like, I'm grateful to my birth mother for life and everything like that, but I'm definitely not grateful for the way she's treated me in this life. And I've really had enough of it. So, um, I remember she had said when I told her that I wrote a book before, that I was working on my book before, back in 2022, before she ghosted me. The first thing she said was, "Oh, you're not going to talk about us, are you?" Well, this isn't about revenge. This is about telling my life story, about sharing my heart and soul. I only used first names. And if that upsets them, well, it's not definitely not written in a way to harm. And I didn't do it to cause harm. I did it because this is all too much for me to carry. You know what? When I'm gone, I want people to learn from the things that I had to learn the very, very hard way of. I'd really very much like to know what it's like to have love and family to love and be loved in this life, because I haven't known it other than with me and my babies, my fur family. That's why human connections are so difficult for me. And I hope that you can forgive me if sometimes I do misunderstand. I've tried to correct myself and do the right thing as best as I can. Um, Over the past couple weeks, I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to even continue, like, with living with my illness. Like, I didn't know how I was going to keep going with this, like what to do, where to turn, if it was going to get any worse, what was I going to do then? And I know that love is the cure. That's the thing. And no matter how much I have loved myself, sometimes, you just need that love and support. I think that is something that we need as a human being. And it's always been me and the divine, but imagine what I could do if I had good people around me to make happy memories with, because I honestly, I'm not messing with you, I can't remember. That's what happens with trauma. A lot of this stuff just gets deleted. I didn't really have that many happy Christmas memories and all that anyway, or birthdays or whatever. I've never had that. I've never been able to celebrate my birthday. But I do. I celebrate it for me, alone. And you've seen that here, you know? But I do worry being here on my own, you know, not being able to. I mean, I begged them. I begged both Jenny and my birth mother, Virginia, for help, to come and help me here, to help me be able to get off marijuana, to just try. Nobody wanted to. So there. So it wasn't just one little thing of abuse, it was many things. And then I went through that decade of abuse here with that guy abusing me again because I didn't know what love was. I'd never known it. I never had it. I couldn't recognize it. I did recognize it within myself, and it was a very painful lesson in partly learning unconditional love. And as scary as it is, because, but I mean, I could have been gone already. and no one would have known. I just, what's really sad is that the last time I remember I had just given my doctor, and I think I had gone to the hospital for some testing, and they had asked for an emergency contact, and I finally had a family member to give. And then again, when I was there, maybe the last time or the time before, they asked me, "Oh, is this?" I'm like, "No, it's not even a valid number anymore." She ghosted me and changed her phone number. Do you know how that feels? To just have, "Oh, my mom's talking to me again," and then boop. So they don't even think about this. And then I have to say, "No, she disappeared." And people think they blame you. They blame me. You see, I didn't do anything to her. And how cruel of her to let me know how the family's doing, and that she's raising my brother's kids and being with everybody else, but not me. Couldn't even be. Oh, okay, you guys, I'm sorry. This might take me quite a while, but it's so frustrating because I don't have anybody to make new memories with of any kind. Unfortunately, I'm sorry to report that just Jamie doesn't have time for me. Okay? And that's all I'm going to say. But I don't think I'm going to bother anymore. I give and I give and I give and I share about myself, and then boop, it's like I just don't matter to anyone. You know? So it's not that I haven't given it everything I've got, because I have. And I volunteered in places and this and that and this and that. I've done it. So living with this illness sucks. I mean, it truly is debilitating, and I've done everything that I can. Truly I have. And so I just want to thank you for being here with me. Thank you for caring about me enough, for watching, and while I have a couple of things in mind I want to do, but now knowing this information, I just might need some time, to adjust the fact that, I knew it could have been an option that these people would find me, but by that time I thought I would be in better circumstances. Not that I care what they think, but they always didn't think very highly or very much of me anyway. It took 3 years of her to even think of me like that again. Not even a letter or a message, not fuck all. So, it turned out, by the way, in 2022, she told me why. Demon Debbie had called them again, this time telling them that I'm a murderer and that I'm going to kill them, when Demon Debbie spent the last 17 years torturing me almost to death. She's the killer. And they believed it. Yeah, they believed that. So imagine how that felt to find out, and then leave me again for 3 years after telling me something as devastating as that you did and that you believed. Demon Debbie, the abuser that fucked me up for life. She is a narcissist. The stuff that people are going to read about her, that woman, I should have put her in jail, but I ran away to save my own life. I ran for my life to the United States from all of you, because you told me, "Oh, no, you were coming to sabotage me, but I will not allow that." And now, I'm sorry, everyone. It's unbalancing me again. Yeah, it I've been tortured and tormented in this life like hell, honestly. So, but despite the if I was like a computer, it's just like a bit of a virus, and love is the cure, and it's just the way it is, and it sucks because I know that people won't take me, I mean, they didn't before take me seriously, really, or give me a chance because of the fact that I have CPTSD and because I smoke marijuana, and it's all around really fucked my life. And I have tried regardless to make the best of it and to triumph, you know? So I'm gonna go now. But thank you so much for being here again. And I can hope that you can now more understand where the following video is coming from. And I'm going to leave the comments on, but I don't want people to leave nasty comments towards my family, okay? Because knowing that I said that they may be seeing it, please don't do that, all right? Because I won't be posting them anyway. I'll most likely I'll just hold all of the comments and I'll post them just to be sure, all right? Um, Compassion and kindness. You can express your feelings and how you feel, but with respect. Okay, like if you feel that that's a terrible thing to do, it is a terrible thing to do to somebody, and you're allowed to express yourself in that way. Okay. But I do appreciate you hearing about me all this time, and please don't stop researching, because I'll see you again soon. Take care, everyone. I'm sorry for about my shitty computer and it's stalling. All right? Okay, take care. Thank you. Bye. Hi, everyone. It's me and Marv. Oh my goodness, sorry. Just hold on. Great opening. Just hold on a second. I really have to cough. Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, hello. I hope you're well. It is February 12th, 2026, and it's actually 1:07 a.m. There's a reason why I'm not in bed. I wasn't sure if I was going to, well, I had plans actually to record, but not about this. I had gotten dressed in a cute little outfit. It's all navy blue actually, and my socks match my sweater and everything. So the reason why I didn't do it, I'm not smiling because anything's great or funny. Well, this is one of the reasons why I'm writing a book, because it's difficult for me to talk about, but so I was just genuinely worried about my financial situation, and um I went and I just randomly checked my PayPal. I had a feeling to check. And I did have a donation, but it was from someone that I definitely did not expect, okay? Um Someone asked me like how exactly I ended up in the position I am today. And I mean, this isn't directly the cause, but one of the reasons why I'm alone without family, okay? Oh, this is so messy. So, I was given up for adoption at birth, right? We've talked about a few of these things over the years on my channel, okay? It's just not the most positive. And I don't know. I guess I worry about how much it's going to bother other people to hear it, and it's not easy for me to talk about it. Um, but I was adopted to some pretty nasty people. Okay. All right. That's who I have been referring to as Demon Debbie on this channel. Um, well, before I left for California, this is one of the reasons why I decided to just leave the country entirely. Um, after I had left the group home, I briefly lived with my birth mother. And one day I got home from work and she just told me I had to leave. No explanation why, didn't understand what I did. And that was that. They stopped answering the phone. And I was just like, I guess I'm going to move to California then. They stopped answering the phone eventually, okay? But before I left, I asked them to hang on to some of my most precious possessions from my childhood and growing up. Drawings that one of my best friends had done for me, my comic book collection, and one of my most treasured, precious childhood stuffed animals. Had him for years and years, okay? He went through all my trauma with me. He was probably soaked in my tears so many times. I know that's a pretty dramatic thing to say, but it's true. Literally cried into him. He was my only comfort. And so in 2022, I've talked about a little bit about this before. Um, Something that I call the spirit phone, okay? So I had this dream in 2022. It's 1:11 a.m. Where my birth mother called me on the spirit phone. And what it is I'll be in an apartment that in the dream I feel like it's mine. Like even if it doesn't exactly look like mine, or it might be like when this happened, it was my old building in my apartment that I currently lived in. But sometimes it's not. Sometimes I'll just be in a house and I'm like, yeah, this is my home, but I have no idea like where it actually is, you know? But anyway, I was in my apartment and this was a lucid dream, and I answered the phone and it was her. And she was expressing concern, worried about me. And, I mean, it had been through COVID. I mean, I think it was February 2022, and it's February again. Um, anyway, so I had contacted her, I believe, in February, but I had the dream a few months earlier, but I just couldn't shake it. Like how I had this feeling, she wanted me to contact her. And I hadn't spoken to her in years and years because, like I said, one day they just told me, I had to leave. And it was pretty traumatic, you know? I wondered for years and years and years what I had done wrong. And it was very hard on me. I used to have PTSD flashbacks about it, but honestly, I just kind of put it out of my mind and my heart somehow. I don't know. I think it was so much for me that my brain just tried to protect me from it. You know what I mean? I mentioned it, I'm pretty sure, on the channel before, but there's a reason why I'm talking about this right now because I can't go to sleep. It's bothering me so much. So I don't want to bring it into tomorrow. So if I just say something about it now, then it's over with, right? And maybe I can get to my other videos. And anyway, so a few months went by after I had that dream with the spirit phone. And like I've had other people call me in, and there's those strange phone calls where I told you where it's like it's a man and it's an authoritative sounding voice, and he says like words that don't make sense that are in like orange, potato, rainbow, butterfly, shit like that, in words like this, like a sequence. And then all of a sudden I'll become conscious and lucid. And when I wake up, I know that we've talked about something important, but I have no idea what it was. I don't know. But anyway, so that's the spirit phone. So that's something in the spiritual realm. But so I contacted her a few months later. I did. I found her on Facebook. And I didn't know what would happen, but I sent her a message. And she messaged me back. And it ended up I was right. That she was happy that I contacted her and she was wondering like how I was and all of that. So my dream was right. My intuition was right. And, you know, and at first, I thought it was a good thing because I had tried to form a bond and relationship with my birth mother many times over my life, okay? I think I met her for the first time when I was 9 or 10 years old. Which always made it difficult for me because I wondered why they didn't come and rescue me out of that situation, especially as a child. I really went through it. This is why I don't talk about it. But um, so in 2022, after I'd contacted her, I asked her, I said, why did you just stop talking to me back then? I think I was 18 years old. And she told me. She said that Demon Debbie called her and told her that I was going to murder her and my brother. And she believed that. Yeah. Like I said, eventually, like there was, my brother answered the phone a few times, said, yeah, I'll get her to call you back. She never did. I asked my aunt, I said, why won't they answer the phone? I don't know what I did. She didn't have an answer. For years, I held on to that. But that's what Demon Debbie did. And this is how she was like. I think I mentioned before on the channel that my adopted dad, her husband, she made him go and get a vasectomy. Demon Debbie did, okay? And she told him, if I can't have kids, neither can you. So Demon Debbie called up my birth mother and told her that because if she couldn't have me, no one could. I wouldn't have no family. If it wasn't her family, I'd have no family. Yeah. I've had some really fucked up shit happen to me in my life, and the reason why I'm telling you it right now is because the donation was from my birth mother. She's found my YouTube channel. And it's made me feel all kinds of ways. I always knew that it was a possibility, and I'm glad it's not Demon Debbie, but it already could be, and one day it might be, and I really need to reflect on what I'm going to do, because this really messed up my day. I was going to say the F word, but I refrained. So I want to show you something. I needed to deal with my feelings, And so I decided to do some art, and I drew my reindeer. Here he is in his little red and white polka dot pajamas, and you see he was torn apart many times by Demon Debbie because she would try to take him from me. He was my only joy and comfort. And my ferret nibbled a little part of his nose. And up here, too. He'd drag him under the couch. Especially when I'd be at school. I had a ferret named Slinky. But one day, Demon Debbie just gave him away. When we were going away for the weekend. And my dog, too, and I never saw them again. I was just little then, too. But, Yeah, so this little fella was with me every single day when I was suffering. And you know what? The worst part is that my birth mother had this, and she had no idea how much. They never got to know me. They never bothered. Never. They never wanted to do anything. They never wanted to get to know me. They have nothing. They know nothing about me. So now it bothers me that they get to watch this channel and know stuff about me and see me. Because I had hoped like they would never see me ever again. This little fellow was here for me. And you know what they did? They had a yard sale with my stuff. And they threw stuff into the garbage. I bet you they threw this into the garbage. My most treasured possession. Just like they threw me into the garbage. Multiple times. You know what she did last time? In 2022, she ghosted me again. Deleted her Facebook. Changed her phone number. After she told me she was going to come and visit. Yeah. This woman has done this to me multiple times in my life. Especially when I needed her. And that's one of the reasons why I'm alone and end up in this position today. So you're wondering how I ended up like this? It's because of shit like this, you guys. Okay? And I'm going to tell you right now, I had no intention ever of harming my birth mother or my fucking brother. Are you kidding me? My blood. Yeah, but they believe that. And I don't know. I don't even know how to feel about it. And I haven't for years. I tried. But if she doesn't have this anymore, I can never talk to them again. I just can't. I can't do it. And it bothers me now. They can watch my content when they never bothered, not for a single moment, to get to know me, to spend any time with me in my life. I think my brother tried more than my mother ever did. He gave birth to me, he didn't even hold me. So there's honestly like I hate this computer honestly. I don't know how. If it's been stalling, I apologize. Nothing, literally nothing else is open. So yeah, I know it may not seem like much. Like it's just a toy. No, that's why I have guardian angel wings there. Because when there was no one there to be with me when I was crying and in the fetal position, shaking in fear with pissy pants because I'm terrified that I just got beat, wailing and crying, he was here. And I've wanted him back for so many years. And I've thought about him and I miss him. And no matter how many stuffies I buy, even if I love my Evie, it will never be him. It says, the words say, I miss you, buddy. I've never ever forgotten you. And then kisses and hugs and a heart. That's what that says. So I called him Reindeer, but he was Rudolph, the red-nosed reindeer, and he was my favorite. Yeah, he came with a little teddy bear of his own, actually. So it was like he was in for a sleepover with his little bear. Yeah, yeah. But he had a full red nose at one point, but my ferret had bit off a piece, and that was like a ripped off fur part. But I still loved him. He was precious to me, and as if they didn't see this and know how important it was to me that he was all stitched up and repaired, you know? Yeah, my comic book collection, everything precious to me, gone. All the drawings my best friend Caroline in ninth grade did for me, gone. Everything. Everything that I loved, and that happened to me multiple times in my life by different people where I've had absolutely nothing, things stolen from me, all that, you know? So, I just wanted to tell you all that. And That doesn't mean to like leave hate comments, okay? Because like that's not what this is about or what this video is for. So please don't. I've I was just starting to recover from the little depression that I was going through because I was so overwhelmed with everything, you know. And then this today. So I don't know. I Like I said, I wanted to just leave it, and I was gonna go to bed, but I don't want to get up tomorrow and have to talk about this again. Okay. So like I said, this is why I'm writing my book, and I write about all of this stuff in there, you know, and it will explain exactly how I ended up here. But it's mostly because people failed me and let me down. You know, like my own blood threw me away so many times. It just now I wasn't excited at all to see her name. Not at all. After what she had done to me back then, you know, when I kept calling the phone and then I realized, oh my God, she's deleted her Facebook. Yeah, just ghosted me completely, you know? You got to remember, my mother's only 15 years older than me. So, yeah, 15, or she was almost 16, but because our birthdays are both in August. So, yeah. So, I guess that's it, really. I just wanted to tell you about that. And I hope you like my reindeer. That's why I sang the Rudolph song, but it has more significance than that. I actually looked up the spiritual significance of reindeers, and it's like strength, endurance, and spiritual journey. Yeah. So I'll link that below if you want to see that. Because I mean, like, I honestly, I loved this reindeer. Oh, just wait, I'll show you. I've got something. I mean, it's kind of comforting. Hold on, I'm gonna stop crying. Hang on. So I have this reindeer that I have on my keys. Yeah, but I'm probably never ever gonna get him back. I want to ask, like, do you have him? If you can give him back. But that's all I want from them. I've cried so much. I don't want to anymore. That's why I try not to. I've cried so many tears. I feel like it's a waste. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of the hydration in my body. I want him back. Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna go now. Thank you for listening to me because I really appreciate it. I know that this shit is messy. But I can't have that anymore. I can't have people do that to me anymore. Mm. She's done this so many times. It's like, just wants to know I'm okay and then fucks off, not thinking about what I need. The reason I told them before, I said, you guys don't love me. And I was right. They didn't even know me enough to love me enough to keep him. And they believed that evil, awful woman. They threw out my buddy. They threw out my buddy. He was there for me. They were not. It's the principle of it. They didn't know me enough, but they didn't know he was the most important thing in my life. The only thing that gave me strength to hang on to at night, to hang on to tightly when my parents were screaming at me and then I would have to get dragged, but he would come with me And that's how he got injured and ripped apart. I have to go. Sorry. If you don't see this, it's because I wasn't able to post it. But I'm really going to try. And I really am asking for your compassion if I turn off the comments. Please understand why. Know that I'm going to be okay, and it's hard to look at myself right now. That's why I have a hard time looking at the camera, or I will look up. Is because I have a hard time looking at myself because deep down, I still have some shame. This happened to me. Um, and that as a result, I never had an experience properly with family, and that I cannot bond and feel connection with others properly. And one of the reasons why my CPTSD is so fucking severe. So, with that, goodness. Uh, Again, thank you very much for listening to me. I do wish you well. Please don't allow this to cause you too much distress or any at all. This is something that I've dealt with for many, many years, all alone, all by myself, with the divine creator, of course, because you're never truly alone. And I know this, but as far as other human beings have gone in my life, it has not been. So, it's hard to talk weird. All right, then. I do appreciate you all. Thank you so much for listening to me. Take care, everyone. Bye. Have a good night. I'm gonna be okay. I'm gonna be okay. Just smoke some weed, and then I'm gonna go to bed. Good night. See you.